As you see it, what are the dangers of the widely used insulation material, mineral wool?
It's the very nature of the product, the fact that it is made up of very, very small fibres. Fibres that when you're working with the product, they can get into the air, you can breathe them in, you can get them on your skin. They get to the lungs very quickly, and there is a very serious risk of pulmonary fibrosis resulting, as proven to come from this product. This is probably the most extreme illness that you can get from this product. It is a largely incurable disease. We have seen instances of people who have worked with mineral wool losing up to 90% of their lung capacity. There are concerns that there always have been with the product that it is carcinogenic. We believe that the main risk of cancer with this product is to do with a binder. When this product was tested before going on sale, it was tested without the binder. So what you're actually buying, what you're using, what you're putting in that roof space above your children's bedroom, that is not the product as was tested.
So far, dangers to construction workers and homeowners concerning mineral wool have not been addressed by the EU. How can the EU deal with this?
I think that the most important thing is to not sort of kind of reinvent the wheel, but to look at the existing health and safety legislation and add this particular concern over this product into that which already exists. Legislation that's in place to protect the people who are working on building sites, for example, whether they are building or whether they're demolishing buildings. There is already legislation in place. There is a legal requirement for site owners and site managers to ensure that certain safety measures are carried out and that the correct protective clothing is used on the site. And I would argue that given we already have that in place, let's just add mineral wool to the equation. And I think that this would be a very, very easy way of improving safety, certainly for the site workers who are exposed to this every day. There have been a number of interviews with people who have suffered from the effects of handling mineral wool, and they've said that they didn't realise there was a problem there. I find that quite difficult to believe, but apparently there are people working with this product who are not aware of the risks.
Are construction companies educating their workers on the precautions one should use when handling mineral wool?
Clearly not. I've done quite a lot of research into this, and I've read and heard online comments by people who have been affected, people in the industry who have been affected by MMVF, and they are saying that they weren't aware of the dangers. They didn't realise they should have been wearing a mask. I personally find that very strange, because to me it would be obvious that you would wear a mask with this product. But no, clearly it's the case that they are not receiving the instruction that they should be receiving.
As part of the EU's recovery plan in response to the COVID-19 epidemic, the implementation of the European Green Deal will involve much renovation of public and private housing, making them more energy efficient. Will or should safety requirements be attached to these projects?
There certainly should be. The Green Deal is something that I think we're all very enthusiastic about, very optimistic about. And as is often the case, the current situation regarding COVID and the recovery, which is going to be a very long and expensive process, does give us a real opportunity. And I would like to see the lawmakers in Brussels and Strasbourg, and indeed in member states, taking advantage of this opportunity to ideally to eliminate the use of this particularly dangerous substance, or at the very least to manage it more carefully, to educate workers, to ensure that there are the appropriate safety measures in place and that they are adhered to on site. The European Union, I would say, prides itself on a very proactive attitude towards health and safety. in the home and in the workplace. So there are lots of problems, but this is actually now the time. This is a golden opportunity to really seize this one.
What about recycling construction products during the renovation wave? Should we be recycling materials which are potentially dangerous?
Ideally, no, we shouldn't be recycling these products. We should just be phasing them out. But to phase them out, this suggests that we have to get rid of them. Getting rid of mineral wool is a problem. It's incredibly bulky. By the very nature of it, you don't want to be burning this stuff and releasing everything into the air. So where do we put it? Where do we put all these, goodness knows, millions of tons of this product? Unfortunately, when we have a situation like this, we tend to pass on the environmental effects that would be inherent with dumping this material onto another generation, onto the next generation. It's very easy for politicians to do this because very often they're just thinking in terms of electoral cycles. When we talk about environmental degradation, we need to be thinking in terms of generations, not just in years. I would say, ideally, no, let's not recycle it, but we do need to address the question of how to get rid of that which we already have.
Can the EU learn from Denmark, where companies are required to replace the hazardous mineral wool with less hazardous or non-hazardous materials?
Absolutely. I think what we have here is a very good example of best practice. And yes, it makes life much easier if you're looking at a kind of a policy option which has been tried and tested, which is already in place, and where you can see results starting to appear. So I would say absolutely Denmark should be held up as the model for this issue.
Why hasn't the EU addressed or prioritised the health and safety of key workers for so long?
I wish I could answer that. I really do. It's a very good question. It's bordering on negligence, I think, when we look at the number of people affected by this product. And as I say, a lot of people are working with it every day. To me, this does seem to be a very, very urgent issue. And yeah, I would ask that question, why has nothing been done? Certainly, I became interested in this issue maybe 3 years ago. And I can't say that I've seen any real progress within the context of the EU. Obviously, you've referred to Denmark. We're seeing progress there. But I just do not know why the lawmakers have not taken this up.